Welcome to the second episode of our WVDTechFest podcast. We've created this format to present you our valuable community speakers and let them explain what you can expect from their session. We are the largest WVD event out there with 24 speakers from 8 countries, and this event is intended to provide you with all the theoretical and practical knowledge to become a WVD rockstar. Today I'm with Simon Binder and our special guest Ryan Mangan from the UK. Hi Ryan.
Hello everybody.
And Ryan, it's a pleasure to have you as one of our speakers for the WVDTechFest. And let's start with who are you and what do you do?
Yeah, so hello. So my name is Ryan Mangan. Some may be aware of me from Ryan Mangan's IT blog. So I obviously work for AppCure, which is an application migration organization which specializes in moving applications from older operating systems to Windows 10. As well as obviously the added value and benefit of getting into Windows Virtual Desktop. And obviously I do quite a lot of posts and articles on Windows Virtual Desktop, as you may have seen, and recently did the Microsoft Meets on disaster recovery. So yeah, so really pleased guys for being invited to do some presentations. I'll do a presentation for the WV Fest. And I'm also kind of excited to be talking about MSIX App Attach, which we all know is a hot topic at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel that it's one of the many cool technologies that have really gotten such a huge push through WVD and through the pandemic. So I know that the interest is really huge, and I don't think we at this point realize the enormous value that organizations may be getting from it. So is that what you're going to talk about during the WVD TechFest as well?
Yeah, so we're going to talk about, obviously, MSIX and the introduction to MSIX App Attach, where we kind of explore the kind of benefits. Some people use the phrase, good candidate. I don't like using it because any application can run on a Windows operating system.
Yeah, and MSIX, that's what you're going to talk about during the WVD TechFest, right, Ryan?
Yeah, so basically we're going to look at an introduction to MSIX and then explore some of the benefits of using MSIX App Attach. We're going to take a look as well at some of the kind of go-to technologies which were there previously and the pain points people experienced and why and the benefits of moving now forward to MSIX App Attach. So I'm looking forward to the session, to be honest, and I think it's going to be quite interesting. And I also think a lot of the attendees will be really looking forward to that because the ability to add and remove applications on the fly is a pretty nice way of kind of managing users and their experience.
Perfect, that's great. And I think it will definitely help those people understanding what MSIX App Attach can do for them and their companies at least. A use case that we know from environments or where we have MSIX App Attach already in place is, for example, if you want to provide desktops to external consultants, for example. And you can give a lot of security, or you can enhance the security at least. Ryan, can you tell us a little bit more? How can MSIX App Attach help to secure applications?
So it's not just MSIX App Attach, because App Attach is the vehicle of delivering an MSIX. So what you can do is 2 different ways. Number one is you can apply firewall rules to an MSIX, if you didn't already know, which is fantastic because you've got that level of control from a port perspective. But then when we look at delivering the applications via MSIX App Attach, we can obviously define user groups and control. It's not just about security, it's also about license compliance. So for those who need to ensure a level of license compliance for like true-ups of software, this is all taken care of nice and easily by controlling it by MSIX images.
Cool. Perfect. And my background is within device management, so I've been working with MSI files, MSI without the X. And I believe that if we go back a couple of years, when Microsoft started to talk about MSIX, we only saw it as a new packaging format. Like, yeah, we get an X and it can do some of the things that MSI were supposed to do. So I find it really quite interesting to see how much that have evolved over time.
Yeah, and do you know what's really cool as well? Most people didn't realize this or weren't fully aware of the kind of delivery mechanisms, but the Xbox uses MSIX, So, this is the universal way of delivering applications and things for the Microsoft ecosystem, I believe. And, I think it's going to change a way people kind of access. Because if you look at, WVD today and you look at RDS from the painful time of they've taken the pain away of deploying infrastructure. That's solved. We can spin up whatever we want. Do you know what? Let's just go and spin up, WVD across 8 regions, and while we're making a cup of tea, it's just like, that's solved now, right? What we've got now is, that's great. You've got a Windows virtual desktop environment, but what about your apps?
Yeah.
That's the problem. And then you've got people using legacy, as they call it. I call them older applications on older operating systems because you can move them. But the challenge you've got is, if they're using 16-bit architecture, you can't run that on 64-bit whatsoever. You can try and emulate on 32, but how many multi-session hosts run at 32-bit? I don't think there is one. So there's all these challenges associated with trying to get everybody over, and sometimes redevelopment isn't an option, right? So we could spend a day spinning up WVD and have this all singing and dancing platform, and then the next 2 years you spend moving applications. So that is the current challenge, and obviously with MSIX and MSIX App Attach, we can expect to see some great, powerful things from that.
Absolutely. And what we see, or a question that I got often asked is, do I need to be a PowerShell addict to get started with MSIX App Attach in particular? Can you say something about this? Are there any solutions out there that can help you?
Yeah, so I mean, we're allowed to talk about third parties, sure. So hopefully, just don't nod if that's true. So App Ventix is a way of delivering at the MSIX and App Attach to X outside of and inside. So PowerShell was more of a kind of like dangle the carrot, have a taste of MSIX App Attach from a testing perspective. The APIs for attaching applications in AppX packages have been around a long time. That's not changed. It's just obviously the documentation released was limiting in terms of, and you've got to understand that, it was a preview, it was a concept. They didn't realize probably how, much the industry would grasp onto this concept and really take it forward. And this is why it's so powerful. But now, as we move forward, there's certain vendors out there, like the company I work for, AppCure, AppVentix, VMware's AppVols allows you to deliver MSIX App Attach, through their AppVols technology. So if everybody's moving to a VMware cloud using Windows Virtual Desktop, you can still deploy MSIX App Attach to them desktops using their proprietary VMware technology, which has MSIX baked into it. So, there's lots of options, there's lots of capabilities, and some more exciting stuff coming out. Probably as we're talking, people are writing away at all the things across the world,
Yeah.
While we're all locked in, as it were.
Yeah, absolutely. Now with the new ARM portal integration, I'm really looking forward to see it in public preview or really in GA, because I think it will help people to get the real Kickstarter to MSIX App Attach.
Yeah, and one of the things I will definitely cover in the session is actually how to manage session host permissions to the shares, because believe it or not, the number of questions I'm getting now through the blog posts and through the messaging on the blog is about why is it coming up with this error, and it's to do with how you manage the permissions for the session hosts. It's not a dark art, it's just a specific way of doing it, right? So we'll cover that as well, just to make sure everybody can get going, because the aim of the game really is to get people using MSIX App Attach and actually seeing the benefits. Because more people use it, better feedback to Microsoft, better the product gets. Simple as.
Yeah, and I would guess it's close to the same aspect of MSIX App Attach as it were with FSLogix, which one of our other speakers, Jim Moyle, talked about at the Swedish WVD user group a while back, where he had like an easy, a medium, and a hard way of using FSLogix. And I'm assuming that it would be the same thing with MSIX App Attach, that you have the basics, and then it's just up to your organization and to the requirements on how advanced and how many of the features available you will use.
Exactly that. And the thing is, you might have one critical app you want to add and take away whenever. It might be some kind of security mechanism for finance software you want to be able to remove. It depends on the use case in the business. And what's quite interesting about, you mentioned FSLogix, and a lot of people say it's exactly the same as MSIX App Attach. The truth of it is that they are different. A lot of people get that misconception. But what is interesting is they believe they were first developed by FSLogix as a company. I think they worked on both technologies. So it does derive from the same source. But obviously they are different, because obviously one's using the packaging manager and the other one is using the magic filter to kind of trick the operating system into seeing the local profile when it's actually attached. Yeah. So No, yeah, there's I think there's going to be a lot of different kind of use cases. I mean, I've spoke to people in the last couple of weeks, some large, some small, medium, and a lot of people are saying, how do we get this? How do we get rid of all our applications, and how do we deliver them quickly? I mean, one MSP said, look, I want to update an application and add it on the fly while they're working. And then with MSIX Appetite, we can do that. You know? And this is where it's going to get exciting because, you know, being able to update applications while someone's working on the PC is just crazy, right? You know, even layering, you had to reboot the machine and drop on a new layer and things. It's, yeah, this is going to be quite cool, and I think it's only going to get better. So yeah, exciting.
Yeah, for sure. And apart from your session, what are you looking forward to the most with the WVDTechFest in just over a month from now?
Well, this is the thing. There's that much content, that many people attending now. So many really good speakers, really good kind of professionals in the industry. I mean, I've known Thurick Beardson for many years. I met him in TechEd in 2013, and his knowledge on RDS and the early days of the RDMA before it evolved into WVD is crazy. You know, he's like a walking textbook. So you know, every session that Thurick does is always good to watch. But then you've got Esther as well. You've got Jim Moyle. It just goes on, doesn't it, really? So everybody's got something. You've got a guy called Simon Binder as well, and Patrick Kohler. So there's all of these people speaking, and I'm generally looking forward to it. But the thing is, people even need to take time off work to kind of go through it all, or strap themselves in, because it's going to be a lot to kind of digest, which is great. But what else do you want to do in February when everybody probably across Europe are locked down anyway? So there's nothing else to do apart from watch technical videos, to be fair. Yeah, and they will be recorded as well, won't they, afterwards? So there's always the retry later on when you've got a spare Saturday, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a reason to join in or to watch the recordings afterwards. Perfect.
It is going to be recorded. Watch again. Yeah, repeat.
Yeah,
exactly. Perfect. Thank you so much for taking the time today, Ryan. It was really a pleasure, and we are looking forward to your session really a lot.
Brilliant. No, thanks, guys, and again, thanks for allowing me to do some sessions. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. And if you want to know more about the WVDTechFest or about Ryan's session, visit our website wvdtechfest.com and register up today. We are looking forward to see you all there. Have a nice time. Take care.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.